Welcome back to Just the Truth. And, I had Josh Mandel on, who is running for Senate in Ohio. And another candidate has a lot of fans out there who said you have to also have on Mark Pukita, who is also running for Senate in Ohio. So, of course, I am delighted to have Mark on tonight. So thank you so much, Mark, for joining me here on Just the Truth.
Thanks for having me, Jenna.
Absolutely. Yeah, so talk about your campaign, why this is important for you to run for Congress, and why you're the best candidate.
Well, at the end of 2019, I sold a business I'd been growing for 25 years and realized I'd lived the American dream. I had a grandson who was then 5 months old, and I realized that he wouldn't have the same chance I did. I came from a lower middle class family, and I decided to primary Rob Portman because I believed that he didn't do anything that he promised Ohioans he would do. So I'm the only person in the race, the only candidate in the race who got in before Rob Portman quit. And I was willing to primary an incumbent sitting U.S. Senator, which is a heavy lift, because I really think we have some big problems that can be solved by common sense solutions. I'm a business person, much like Donald Trump, and I think that we can take business principles, sound business principles, and change America and government, specifically the federal government, very quickly, and we need to do that.
And I'm so glad that there are people like you that are willing to step up and say, we have to take back our elected offices, and we have to have these types of common sense solutions. And so you mentioned to me before coming on that education and election integrity are two of the important issues for you as well.
Right. So as a citizen candidate, I experienced, so I've never run for office before. I'm not a lawyer. I didn't go to an Ivy League school. No offense to lawyers, Jenna. But,
no worries. I didn't go to an Ivy League either, and I'm actually proud of it. So.
Good for you.
Yeah.
But education, we know that our children are being attacked. They're literally being abused by people who want to use them as tools for their political agenda. So we, as part of our Big 7 Disrupt agenda, what we call our Big 7 Disrupt agenda, fixing education is part of that. And what we're doing is helping candidates. We're trying to leave Ohio better during the campaign than we found it. So not only do we want to win, but we want to improve the situation in Ohio, and education is one of them. So we're helping candidates sign up and get registered. Today is the last day to have signature petitions access to run for boards of education. And then we've got this thing called a contract with the district, which is designed to flush out those members and candidates who won't stop critical race theory, who won't stop early sexualization of children, who just won't stop having this poison injected into our children. And so we feel that's important. And then, of course, election integrity. We need to get back, what I call get back to the future. Paper ballots, hand count. We had a fraudulent election. I'll say that here. I say it everywhere. Donald Trump is the legitimate president. Joe Biden is illegitimate. We need to go back and do a full recount and forensic audit of the 2020 presidential election in Ohio specifically, but in every state to engender trust once again in our electoral process.
Yeah, absolutely. And, and I'm so glad that you're willing to stand up for these issues, and specifically for election integrity. What are some measures that you would take to Congress?
I think that it's a state issue, right? So like this HR 1 is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, federalizing elections is absolutely ridiculous. We need to get rid of mail-in voting. We need to get rid of extraneous absentee ballots. We need to stop ballot harvesting. We need voter ID. We need to get back to a normal course of voting, which worked for us forever. And we need to not allow this next election, this coming November, to be stolen again with masking and COVID being used as a illegitimate reason to hold an illegitimate election.
Yeah, well, I couldn't agree with you more, and thank you for standing up for the truth. And it's always so shocking to me to see that, people who aren't willing to just say, hey, let's look at what happened. Clearly,
Right.
they have something to hide. And so for people who want to support you, support all of the work that you're doing and donate directly to your campaign, how can people follow you and support you?
They can go to mark4ohio.com. That's mark4ohio.com. And they can find information there on the education work we're doing, /education. They can also donate and get involved and register to be part of our campaign. We are on an incredible uptick right now. We're getting a lot of earned media. As you know, that's very important. And we're just very, very enthusiastic about being the only fighting campaign, truly fighting for Ohioans, rather than fighting for me or fighting for a career in politics.
Yeah, so it sounds like being a true statesman. Imagine that.
Right.
I wish that more citizens understood that and were willing to step up and say, we'll be a candidate to actually go and make a difference, not just go and make millions of dollars or whatever, all of the stuff that Nancy Pelosi wants to do in being a career politician. And also, how can people find you on social media as well?
On social media, it's at Mark4Ohio on all the major platforms, Twitter, Facebook, etc. It's
right.
Mark at Mark4Ohio.
Well, Mark Pukita, thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you a lot of luck in the campaign. Thanks so much. And now to Just the Word. Psalm 70, verse 4 says, "Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee, and let such as love thy salvation say continually, let God be magnified." In everything that you do, always speak the truth, always be willing to be bold and courageous for the truth, and that means we have to know the truth as well. So we need to daily be in the Word of God. So thank you for joining me.